It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, starting at verse 13, and it reads, And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I would drive them. Then said I, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua power, behold, my soul hath not been polluted, for from my youth up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces, neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth. Verse 15, Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. Verse 16, Moreover he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the stuff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astounded one with another and consume away for their iniquity. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Elohim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh Baruch. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who do teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, not more so than ever. Say shalom to the Akim and the Agwath out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad and the land of other nations appearing like the other nations, but who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's your brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. This lesson is in regards to an article I came across on this app that I just downloaded, which is similar to Newsbreak. It's the first lesson I decided to do out of it. It gives you alerts and whatnot as well. And it caught my attention because, this is all prophetic, the article, pretty much, because we know in Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13, it says, And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. Now, the Gentiles can be, the heathen nations, which are the other nations that are not up under the covenant, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, some of Indians, West Indies, and Haitians, are some of the true, or the true, you are the true people in the Bible, of the scriptures. You are some of the tribes of the 12, some of the 12 tribes of Israel. And then you have the Gentiles that pretty much were Israelite foreigners, Israelites that didn't know they were Israelites. So they were keeping the customs of the other nations, because the scriptures tell you that, Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. Scriptures say that all nations are blessed by Abraham because you had Israelites in all nations. Scriptures talk about it's multitude of scriptures. You know what I mean? Like I said, being as the sand of the sea, being scattered all across the earth, and so on and so forth. So, with that being said, the bread is defiled, meaning the food. Especially Babylon the Great, aka America. You got all these GMOs. And the craziest part is, you got other places, in the world that could be considered heathenistic, but only, a lot of countries don't push all those genetically modified foods. America does, though. They don't allow, a lot of these companies that do all these different chemicals, or, like certain brands, you may have, I forgot who brought that out. I think it was like Heinz Ketchup, or it's a ketchup company. In America, you had all these different big ass, long ass words and, different chemical names and the food here, but then they were somewhere else, and the food or that same product didn't have all them chemicals. I think they said France, or I can't remember. Sometimes my memory is really horrible, but nonetheless, showing you that this place, America, Babylon the Great, is that valley of death. Especially for an Israelite. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. It's the book of the book of Psalm chapter 23. I'm gonna start at verse 1. And it says the Psalm of David, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in great pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Verse 3, he restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And a man or a woman that is, a part of this, glorious light that is a hopeful elect member will believe that, because we coming into the times, that you're going to have to completely, solely rely on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Verse 4, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they cover me. And the point is, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And what is that valley of the shadow of death? Which is America. Again, the likelihood for an Israelite man child to even live. What they say is more deadly for a Israelite man child in the womb. Than any other place as far as in Babylon. But then when you look at the statistics of young black males and so-called black males in Babylon are great, that's why it's automatically set up, the way the system's set up is for Jake to either be killed or incarcerated by a certain age. Our nation is completely, well, you can't say completely destroyed now because, at this time, you got Jake waking up, so, that in itself is a miracle. That in itself is hope, Now, we that understand the truth understand that 2/3 of our people are not going to get it and going to be destroyed on the side, but you're going to have a remnant. And that's the hope, what I'm saying? Because you got some Jake that's waking up out of it, what I mean? We are the beginning of that, The scriptures talk about in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves, roughly paraphrased. So, not to digress, but, Ezekiel 4, it was going into how, pretty much the Israelites was going to eat the food defiled amongst all the heathen. And, pretty much Ezekiel, wanted, he begged the Lord because he well, I've never eaten anything defiled, anything abominable or defile, he said anything that dieth upon itself, because I believe that's in the scriptures. You're not supposed to eat, or Israel is not supposed to eat, an animal that died. We can, I believe, sell it to the heathen, but we're not supposed to eat it. But and the Lord had mercy on Ezekiel and allowed him, instead of eating man's dung, he could eat animal dung, showing you how wicked, man could be, because it was more righteous for him to eat an animal's dung. Because when you take time to think about it, an animal, only does what the Lord, created animal to do. That's why it talks about when a man dies, his spirit go before the Most High, but to be judged. But when an animal dies, his spirit go into the earth. Because animals just created. They doing their will, the will of the Lord. If a lion attacks, or hunts an animal to feed its cub, that's the will of the Lord. You know what I mean? Because he's doing what the Lord created it to do. It's only the Israelite man that's not doing what the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua created him to do. And let me get this real quick, and then I'm gonna go back, because in the book of Ecclesiastes, it talks about what's that? Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13, and it reads, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." And that is the pretty much the whole existence and the purpose of an Israelite man, because again, a lot of especially these heathen try to graft the other nations, or your vocab alone. Even 2/3 of our people not understanding the scriptures. But the Most High God created Israel to be separated. The Most High God is not with everyone being together. You should already understand that from the flood story. The Tower of Babel and all that. That togetherness is all the concept of man, and you're seeing that these devils is trying to do that again today, and that's your whole purpose of an NWO. which is so cold because this thing ain't complicated if you got the eyes to see. And I'm not no mighty man in this truth. I can't retain information. All I have, I know this is of the spirit. But there's certain concepts that you don't buck up to because it just resonates with your spirit. It's not difficult to see that. Every nation is with their own nation. It's only an issue when we feel the, you know what I mean. And then people buy that shit all the time. That's like, for instance, if y'all all working at a job and then what, or a brother brought it out, like when you look at Honeycomb Brazy, he got a crew of dudes he walk around with. And he the only one shining, look like King Tut, while everybody else looking fucked up. You know what I mean? But he expect them to ride and die for him. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck. I mean, out of fear that will last to a degree. You know what I mean? Well, the scriptures talk about that movie, A Bronx Tale, which I always thought that was Robert De Niro, but it wasn't. It was that guy that played the mobster in the movie. That was basically something that took place with him. So I never knew that. But anyhow, I can't think of John Palatino or something like that. But he made a statement. He said he did, I forget the little boy name, but he made the statement. He said, "What would you rather be, feared or loved?" He said, "I'd rather be feared because fear lasts longer than love." And then they show you that in that movie, Paid in Full. He said, this place don't love you like that. People in your face smiling when you could benefit them, but then when you can't, they'll try and take. You know, I've seen that happen too often in the streets. You know what I mean? So, with all this being said, because I'm digressing, Salakia, you know, you need to fear the Most High because the Most High is gonna make these people remember to fear Him. You got to remember uh, during the flood, that flood situation took place for the world and the nations to realize the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yeah. But continuing in Ezekiel, it says, Ezekiel asked to be able to eat cow's dung, and the Most High felt or had pity and felt mercy upon him, so he allowed him to do that. And then he said, "I'm gonna break the staff of bread and water, in the land." Because verse 17 it says that they may want bread and water and be astounded one with another and consume away for their iniquity. So a famine, which is mentioned throughout the scriptures, and we're seeing a famine being orchestrated now. This food is becoming too expensive. Everybody's struggling. And then you got a lot of food that's been destroyed. Well, famine is a plague sent for amendment that's in the scriptures. You know, amendment is means to alter or change your ways. You know what I mean? But these people, are so far gone, they're not going to change their way because they were programmed to be the wicked. Well, you got the wicked, which is the nation of Edom or Esau, and then you have, just wicked people. Our people are wicked, but they're not the wicked. The scriptures talk about in the book of Malachi, chapter 1, Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness. Border is something that enters or you exit. So they're the beginning and the ending of wickedness. But with that being said, so it's pathetic that the food being defiled along with a famine. So I'm gonna get a little bit this article, and it says, and it's funny because it's always this comes out about years later. This food being fucked up. So it says chemical found in Cheerios, Quaker Oats, other oat-based foods linked to potential health issues. You know what I mean? And it's funny because this particular brother in the cap that does it, like he has this weird relation with food. He loves food, he can cook, but then he doesn't want to, he fucked up by it because the food is fucked up. That's something that he got to battle with. You know what I mean? Like, hey, the scriptures tell you that. Scriptures talk about how if they drink any deadly thing, then how they gonna live, and no like serpent shall or no poison shall harm them. Roughly paraphrased. So, you know, at the end, it's like we drinking poison and living. because this is part of our punishment. We sinned against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So, the Lord, again, scourged a sinful amendment. It says a pesticide linked to reproductive and developmental issues in animals was found in oat-based food sold in the U.S., including under major brands like Cheerios, Quaker Oats, according to the recent peer-reviewed study. And it makes you really wonder, because take time to think about it. If you got what they call the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, that's supposed to oversee and check the potential hazards of this food, you know, how is things like this always coming out? Because the Food Drug Administration, like they made food a weapon here. They weaponized it, and that's where you go into the son of perdition. You know what I mean? Second Thessalonians chapter 2, it talks about the son of perdition. When you go to that word perdition, is destruction. This man weaponizes it, because he that's how like it's cold. When you go into Jake. Jake, it says Jake is the former of all things. So Jake creates things. Jake brings life. Jake lively, while Esau is dead. He's stiff. Most Edomites can't dance. You know what I mean? Some Jake can't dance either. But you know what I mean? Like the point being, Jake got salt. You know what I mean? Jake got spirit. This is my fourth time trying to do this video. I had to clear some memory. Like for instance, I was reading something. The guy that played Fast and the Furious, the guy Han that played, I think that was Tokyo Drift, the fourth one. Come to find out that's Jake. And it was a comment, and somebody was like, "Oh, that's why he's so smooth," and it made me laugh. Because we can't make this up, you know what I mean? Like we've always told you, Jake got the salt. So for somebody that probably wasn't in the truth to make that comment, you could just look at this guy. It was like you could see his spirit. What like no Moabite, you know what I mean? Now, I don't know. I just know that when you see they showed a rare picture of him with his family, and his dad is Jake, and then his sister looked like his dad, so she looked like she, more so Judah or something, and then he looked like his mom. And I just found that hilarious, you know what I mean? It was like, this why was like, oh yeah, that's why he's so smooth. And they just laughed. It made me laugh, you know what I mean? So, how much more so with these other things that, that we speak, first and foremost, our elders and our apostles, but the things that's said, about, because our elders have been saying that, some of these other people that look like these other nations are not these other nations. I was just listening to a video, Apostle to her. Well, no, that was the cap video. The cap video that they was just doing. He's going into Esau and just, they thinking that they Esau kissing they shoes, but it could be Jake. Because Esau proud and Jake a humble down. Even a proud ass Jake a humble down, you know what I mean? He get cut severely enough. Look at Manasseh. But not to digress. It says Chloe McQuett was detected in 80% of people tested in 3 geographical regions of the U.S. between 2017 and 2023. So it's another chemical that just so happened. They've been tested for this chemical for the last 6 years. And when you was finding this in nobody, you didn't think to, but this man the devil, you know what I mean? Like I said, when you go into like the whole City of Watts, that Aaron Brockovich movie. You know what I mean? Like these people are more concerned about money and greed than they are about people, and that's what really indicator of the devil. You know what I mean? They literally lie in order to make money. Look at Trump. Look at what Trump's situation is. So he was lying, and that's the reason why he's supposed to be ordered to pay back all this money, which is all theatrics. You know what I mean? Like half of the businessman lies. Scriptures talk about in the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, sin sticketh close with buying and selling. According to a study by the Environmental Working Group and published in the Journal of Exposure Science and Environmental Epidemiology, researchers also found that the concentrations detected in 2023 samples were significantly higher than previous years. So that was purposely done. I highly doubt, which it could be like, could be that, they just know whatever method they use, but more than likely, like this devil, because this devil, and that, you go into byproducts. This devil will create, showing you another thing. Like this, showing you who is who for real. Because be like Esau creates something, and you think it is beneficial, but it'll have a byproduct. So it'll have what's the word? It's like well, the word, a word that will fit it is escaping me at the moment. But basically, it'll have not an alternative, but a side effect somewhat. Like you consider a side effect. A byproduct is like a side effect. Like I believe aluminum, a byproduct of aluminum is fluoride. You know, and they say, I don't know how true it is, but I read somewhere that pretty much that's why they got this byproduct, because aluminum is used in a lot of different manufacturing processes, used a lot. So now you got this byproduct, and what do we do with it? So that would to get rid of it, they put it in the fluoride. Now they say that pretty much it's supposed to strengthen the teeth, but it's also put metals in your body, which is not good for your body. So again, and this is how this devil think. And then you follow the devil. The scriptures talk about woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, or trust. Scriptures talk about Salakia. A better one is Jeremiah chapter 17. Woe to the man that trusted in man. You trusted in Esau, who a child himself. It says while some studies published in the National Library of Medicine link the chemicals to reproductive or developmental issues in animals, it raises questions about whether it would also harm humans. Well, I mean, come on, like, and then they'll say some silly shit like that, like you use animals to test shit or to see how it may affect a human, but now you question it. Double fork tongue, this double tongue, double tongue fork, fork. I'm half asleep. Slock it. This fork tongue devil. EWG is a non-profit American activist group specializing in research and advocacy in areas such as agricultural subsidies, toxic chemicals, drinking water, pollutants, and corporate accountability. So I guess they go after these companies. In 2018, researchers noted that the Environmental Protection Agency published acceptable food tolerance levels for chlor, chlor, chloroquine, chloride in imported oat, wheat, barley, as well as some animal products. In 2020, allowable levels were then increased for oats, the study said. Along with testing the pesticides in humans, researchers simultaneously studied the levels of chloroquine in oat and wheat-based products purchased in U.S. in 2022 and 2023, and identifiable detectable levels of chloroquine in all but two of the 25 conventional oat-based products. It said in May 2023, EWG said it detected the chemical in 92% of oat-based foods, including Quaker oats and Cheerios. So Fox Business reached out to General Mills, the maker of Cheerios, and PepsiCo Quaker Foods for comment. I skipped around because point being, it said they in May 2023, less than what's that 9 months, they detected pretty much 92% of this chemical in the food. And if you eat any kind of cereals or oatmeals or what I mean, oats is in bread, oats is in a lot of different shit. So again, going back to Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13, you should eat your bread defiled amongst the heathen. And again, it's going into, the curse for our disobedience. Scriptures talk about, you know, because we sinned against the Lord, you know, we were gonna be, we were gonna be judged, and that's why we're in our captivity in this lower state today. Uh, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. And I'll just read verse 16. It says, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. So wherever we go, we shall be cursed. Curse, verse 18, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, your children, and the fruit of the land, where you stay, the increase of thy kind, and the flock of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be, thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goes out. So, when you born into the world, you're going to be cursed. And when you die, you're going to be cursed. You so-called Israelites, you so-called, not so-called Israelites, like it, you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, some of the Indians, West Indians, and Haitians, who are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. And then, like I said, if you continue to read on in Deuteronomy chapter 28, because the blessings is 68 verses, the blessings are like the first 15, but the curses supersede, the blessings. That's how the Lord said, if you walk the right way, you go receive blessings. But if you walk the wrong, you go receive. He said, what Scripture say? In the book of Deuteronomy, I believe it says, Moses said, "I put life and death before you, so walk in." You could go the righteous way or you could go the wrong way. So choose life. And Jake chose, the wrong way, and now we in the valley of the shadow of death. There's gonna be more and more things that's gonna come out, and it's gonna vex those that truly believe, because it's the believers that's you know aware and awake to what's all be going on. A 2/3 nigga or a Babylonian, they ain't not concerned with this. They don't even really see what's going on. As far as America, you know. So with that, I'm gonna end the lesson. All I can say is stay prayed up. Because it's certain things that we're not going to be able to, you know, to you have no might. The scripture said we will have no might. You got Jake that said up there. Why is this? Why is that? Well, I mean, I was one of those individuals that asked these questions at one point, and the Lord blessed me by giving me the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding. It's true. You know. So this is the answer to why. You got Jake that's still trying to figure out why Jake can't come together. You got motherfucking individuals like like P. Diddy, which I've heard him mention this, or these black entertainers that talk about creating another Black Wall Street in another man's society. Like they'll call us bugged out. Not understanding that you got to go to this so-called red man for the water of all things, even to be able to operate, your businesses. You got to get permit to a certain kind of paperwork from this so-called devil or from this devil in order to even proceed with your business dealings. You sitting up here talking about why? If you so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to your laws, statutes, and commandments of your power. True name being the Hebrews, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem. Come this book of thumb. I want to say double honor to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. I want to say peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, not more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, thought the listen and learning, glory, willingly, this is edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appear like the other nations, but subscribe to the truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Say shalom, shalom, and Kwam Yasharallah.